entity set dollar filter equal to property name. Let me copy this. Okay, so equal UI5 code. So first we have to use the filters using the filter class new sap.ui.modal.filter. It takes 3 parameters. Is that okay? Can you see the font? Black pages. sap.ui.modal.filter. This is not there. sap.ui.modal.filter. It takes 3 parameters: property name, parameter. The parameter what we have used here in our OData query. So that we have to use it again here. Parameters like EQ equal to LT less than, okay, those things again we have to use here, but in the uppercase. Operate. Then the value. I will show you all the varieties of. I'll show you all the varieties of using the filters. So there will be a single filter. You can use 2 filters or condition, 2 filters in the condition, between condition. All these 4 varieties I'll show you. And in the one dot read.
Suman, we are getting multiple noises.
It is from and only one connected at my end. WebEx participants, please. Hello. So entity set, and if you remember, this is the signature of our read method. We had success, and I'm putting some dots here. Error. This is a signature which you already had in the previous week. Okay. Now here you have to have the filters colon filter 1, filter 2, and so on. You should use the filters here. Okay, requirement 1. Show the product with price less than 10 $10 or 10 rupees, whatever it may be. We'll take a low range so that we can get only some value so that we can easily analyze that data. Show the products with price less than 10 for SAP product set. Okay, so here if I have this OData services, how can I query on that? Product set dollar filter equal to price LT 10. Okay, let me copy that. So $7 or $7.
आप जिस व्यक्ति से बात कर रहे हैं उन्होंने आपके कॉल को होल्ड पर रखा है। कृपया लाइन पर बने रहिए। The person you are speaking with has put your call on hold.
Okay, let us have a button now. Let us go into the view. Let us go into the view, view1.view.xml. Here, we should add a button now. Button ID is equal to ID2. Text is equal to price below 10. Press is equal to, let us have something like underscore price LT 10. Please write the code in the web ID only directly. Don't write it in the notepad or notebook. Okay. The definition of that event, I'll go into the view1.controller.js. Let us write that here. Okay, so let me copy the previous code. use it here. Okay. Now let us have a filter here where filter1 is equal to new sap.ui.model.filter. So let us move the namespace to the top of the on the top of the controller sap.ui.model. sap.ui.model.filter. So as per the OData query, price, the first one, comma, LT less than capital uppercase, the value 10. Okay. And then here inside filters colon filter 1. That's it. Please be very careful when you are writing these filters. Every time we are sending the control to the backend means the event. Okay. Acha, you are saying this one. This one. We can use it. That I will tell you in the graph when I'm dealing with the graph. Two ways are there. Because in that scenario, if the data is changed, we get the memory there will be old data. Okay. Yeah, because for every event, I want to hit the data and get the value, get the data from the OData services. That is why I'm again reading this one. Okay, we can put all this in a because JSON model is holding all the data. You can make it global and you can access that in other functions also. That in the graphs I'll tell you. At that time, you no need to again hit the OData services. Okay, with already existing data, we can use it. But in that 1 minute of time, if the data changes in the backend, you won't get that new data. You should be working on the old data only. Okay, that's the only reason. There is an advantage, there is one disadvantage also. Advantage means we get new data, fresh data. Disadvantage means you should not send these many, requests to the fetch the values because all the values are at our end. At our end means in the browser's memory it is there. Fine. But only thing is that to get fresh data every time, I'm again using this. So So now the filter, because it is filtering, we got only 9 values. Okay, I want to show you not this one. Table data now has only 9 values. All the values are below 10, less than 10. So let me again hit this one. I just want to keep the cursor here, this point, and you can see how the values are being fetched. SPAR price less than 10. I want you also to see the same thing, like how I'm placing the breakpoints and going into the browser's console and see the values how they are stored. Not that I'm showing you, you're seeing the movie. Okay, I want you also to do the same thing. Fine. Not just getting the output and you're happy and satisfied. I don't want output you will be getting, but I want you to now only go and see. All these are positive cases only. All the values, everything is working positive. But the real-time project, most of things might fail. Okay. Syntax wise, you have to handle it. Logical wise, they might fail. Okay. Why they are failing? Why I'm not getting the data? You have to put the breakpoint. Sometimes you forget to write this. It happens in some of the cases. Okay, this also is a scenario. Case. You don't write the URL. You try to see the values. How will you get the values? Nothing is there. It happens. It's all negative cases. I'm not going to negative cases. I'm just doing the positive cases so that you can get the data. At the same time, you're testing where the values are stored. So once you get expertized with all these positive cases, then any negative cases are there, you can go with it. So it's not even, it is rejecting to go inside. Okay. So when I'm clicking this price below 10, it comes here. Okay, till here, okay. When I click this play button, it is not going into the success function. Okay, it's not going into success function. So you have to see what is happening, because that you are missing in the data. Okay, it won't directly point to that something is missing there. So you get all these kind of things, message failed, unquote, any promise. Okay, now okay. So now I want the same thing, price less than 10 and category equal to notebooks. End condition. Where condition? Requirement. All the only notebooks. Yeah, same thing here. Category EQ notebooks. From the back end till here when it comes here. That also we can write it. On init function, you write this one. In the on init function, you write that whatever first what you want to show. You can do that also. The on init, the same code with category equal to notebooks. Here in the initial stage only you handle it. Then you can restrict it. Here I'm trying to show all the data. On that I'm trying to apply the filters. You don't directly apply that filter. Apply the filter category notebooks. Only notebooks I'll get it. So next requirement 2. End condition. Price less than 10 and category equal to notebooks. Category equal to notebooks. So the one what I wrote here in the signature on the top above, that works as a end condition. Okay. Normally it acts as an end condition. Filter one comma filter two means this and this and this. That proof also I show you in the network how it is taken, and how can I have a OR condition also I'll show you. Both the things in proof I'll show you in the network tab. Okay. So those are done. You can have another button created in the view. Okay, those are done. Create another button in the view. In the view, create another button. I want WebEx participants also. Create another button. I'm monitoring the offline guys. WebEx participants, please monitor the other trainees as well. Don't use layout editor. Try to type the habit of typing that in the XML format. So it will help you only in extend. If the controls are there, your layout editor will help you. More than 7, 8, 10 controls, your layout editor won't help you. It will make you lazy other hand. You just drag and drop, code will be written out. If you try to use the layout editor. Any issues are there, you can ask me now. I want you to place button the view. Place a button in the view. Button add there. Okay, only place the button in the view. Go to the view. Add another button. Please type it manually. Don't use the layout editor. ID3 text notebooks below 10. Okay. So we get notebooks category, at the same time price also below 10. Any name if you want you can give it. I'm not bothered. Just be it meaningful. Press underscore in notebooks less than 10. Okay. So when you are writing the user defined function name also, let it be meaningful so that you yourself can search it in the controller. Don't give filter 1 ABC 1 2 3 kind of thing. You will get unnecessarily confused because the functions will go on increasing. Okay, so once you are done with this, you check it in the browser. Check it in the browser, refresh the browser. You'll get another button here, notebooks below 10. Okay, we have, so when I press this price below 10, I'm getting somewhere around 9. Okay, I'm getting 9 line items. So only with notebooks means only one is there. Okay, only one is there. So I need to get only one. That too, the price is also 0.00. Okay. So let us write that. Copy this, copy that name, user defined function name, go into the controller, paste it there, function. Don't forget to write this comment always, end of. It will help you a lot when you are searching or analyzing the code. Now, with one filter, you had the code, copy it. With one filter, you had the code. Copy that code. And add another code here. Okay, have another filter here where filter 2 is equal to new filter category EQ notebooks. Okay, please copy the metadata and the values also from the OData services. Every time, this is the best practice. When you type, you might make any mistakes here. Category EQ notebooks. From the OData, you can search that notebooks and give that as it is here. And here in the filters, filter 1, comma, filter 2. Try to do these two things. I have added this line 108 and 113. Okay. So notebooks below 10. So you got only one data here, line item. So let me show you. Inspect this. Go into the sources tab. So outside success, inside success, I'm placing the breakpoint. Network. Let me clean everything here. Here. I can see the network. Good. See that? Okay. Price LT 10 is read like that. Okay. All those are spaces. Price LT 10 and category EQ notebooks. And is being sent to the OData services and it is values are fetched. You cross check again in your browser also. You cross check. You place the breakpoints and do it. Do it now only. This is the training period. Okay, so do it now. Don't postpone it like weekends. Now requirement 3, I want price less than 10 or category equal to notebooks or condition union. So we'll be getting a lot of values. It brings all the category equal to notebooks. At the same time, it will also show the price less than 10. So whichever is highest, all that table will populate with those many data. So if the category equal to notebooks, 100 notebooks category are there. 100 products will be displayed, whichever is higher. When it is or condition, union. So UI5 equivalent code, filters, those are done. You can take this. Filter 1 comma filter 2. So earlier it was end condition. So you are telling that you make it false. So this query will send the or condition. Or condition. Okay. Okay, those are done with the end condition. Do this or condition. Add a button to the view. Add a button to the view. Go to the view. Button ID is equal to ID4. Text is equal to notebooks. Just I want to write this or here so that you can identify when you're practicing. Or price less than 10. Press notebooks or LT 10. Copy this to the copy the function name to the controller. We copy all the previous functions code here. Only this will change. Filters. This we are making it false. To all the WebEx participants, I'm sending that code. Don't make any mistakes in that. Small mistake might not make it work. This filter comma filter 1 comma filter 2 as it is in the square bracket comma false. Make it false. Put it inside a normal bracket parenthesis and then you write the new filter off. Okay, so let me execute this. Let me click on this notebooks. I can see I got 25 records now. So notebooks are in majority, so it is taking the priority, and all the 25 data, and that we got more category notebooks. It even fetches the other price also, but because we need notebooks also at the same time, price less than 10. Price less than 10 is only little, only one record or 5 records, 10 records are there with price less than 10, but notebooks are more. So I'm getting combinedly all the records. So let us check how it is sending the what is triggering the function. So let me refresh this. Okay, so outside success, inside success. Notebooks button I triggered here. Okay, network. I'll refresh all this. You can see now. Let me and compare with the previous one. Yes. Okay, so it is sending the OR condition. Any doubts still here? Let us see between. So price between 10 and 20. I want that records only. Price between. Requirement 4 between price between 10 and 20. So there is an operator which we can, there is a control which we can use, filter operator dot xy. Xy equals to between equal less than equal to greater than equal to starts with ends with. That also belongs to sap.ui dot model dot filter. You can make use of that. Look. Ingredient password. This is the SAP service. So this service this one. SAP service. B20018881850 the metri mark. The prerequisite document I gave you this one. Okay. When you execute your when you're seeing the output, no, it first asks this. It connects to SAP service. Most of you might be giving your web ID P account. Don't give that. The P account of SAP service. Did it take it? Okay, let us add another button here in the view. Button ID is equal to ID 5. Text is equal to price between 10 and 20. Press underscore price BT 10 and 20. Okay. Go to the controller. So copy the code with one filter. Copy the code with one filter. Is less than 10 is 0. Copy that code. Copy the code with one filter. So let us use the filter operator. Let me have that on the top. Filter operator. SAP slash US slash model slash filter operator. So this, and immediately in the order it must come here. So, filter operator. Price, here use the filter operator. Dot. So when you put dot, you'll be getting all the values. Dot between BT. Dot contains. Dot ends with. Dot EQ equal, greater than equal to, less than equal to. All these things you are going to see. Starts with. We did one OData query string with starts with. I want to give that as assignment. Filter operator dot BT 10 and 20. That's it. If you pass this, it automatically fetches all the records between 10 and 20. Filter operator dot BT, pass these two values. You can experiment with the others also, and starts with, ends with less than, equal to, less than, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to. The previous filters also, we can directly use the filter operator dot LT, less than. So on this browser, when you are seeing the output, there you right click anywhere and click on the inspect to open the browser's console. Please don't click on the web ID, right click when you don't get. Somebody is doing like this inspect. You won't get that output of the console. You get a different one. Here on the left side, if you search, lots of folders might be there. Search for the controller, view1.controller.js. Okay. In that, try to place the breakpoints. So 168th line, I'm placing breakpoint. Inside the success, I'm placing a breakpoint. Click on the price between 10 and 20. It hits this one. So you can see how it is placing price BT between 10 and 20. And how it is writing the OData query. Here you can see. Price greater than equal to 10 is writing like this. And price less than equal to 20. Okay, that equals to the between condition. Okay, so I shown you the single filter or end condition or condition, between condition. Happy? Sleeping here. Okay, fine. Next. Now, if there are 10 more filters, it looks very bad if I go on having the buttons. 10 more buttons you have to add it. It looks very ugly for the end user or for the client. So let us have a drop down control. So all this will try to push into the drop down. So we have a select control and we have a combo box control, two controls. Next. So assignment. One query I gave you the other day. Yeah, this query. Day 3, I gave you one query. Show only those products whose category starts with H. Okay. Starts with. There's a starts with here. And the equivalent of starts with, just now I shown you S capital, W capital. Starts with when it comes to your UI file. Search fields. If I want to use search fields, this can be used. Okay. Starts with. But a little bit more code also you have to write it. But this is the beginning. Letter H using filter operator dot xy. So that xy you can replace it with the this starts with. Try with ends with or whatever is their filters. Select and a combo box. Any doubts still here? WebEx participants, any doubts? Okay. So from the perspective how you see the select control and the values populated inside, there are two types of select controls. Static and dynamic. First, let us see how the select control is written. Select. What is the event for the select control? Radio button. Select. Select. Change. Remember this. Okay. Inside this, there is an aggregation item which has a key and a text. Two properties are there. Key and text. The way you want to show the data. So now the requirement, for example, all this order by category, price below 10, notebooks below this one, I want to show it in the drop down. Okay, so I'll directly hard code this values. I call that as a static text, static select control. At the same time, your client asks that I want all these product IDs, all these products to be populated in the drop down. I call that as a dynamic select control. Okay, fine. So one more thing here, I want to refresh the table also. So I'll add one more button here, refresh. So time being refresh acts as the same thing when I refresh the browser here. Okay, so when I refresh the browser, the table, all this table gets the data which we written in the onInit function. So for this refresh also, we can call the onInit function directly. To call one function in another function, this dot, you can use this dot and you can address the other functions, this dot. Okay, I should act like calls the onInit function. Let us go back. A number of other ways also. I'll share you some documents in that how you can refresh the table data. All those things will be there. Okay, let us move now. So I'll add a select control to this now. I'll add a select control. Box, H box. So I just want this to be in the horizontal line. So it's a horizontal layout. I'm using a vertical box. All this and this are in the vertical line, vertical fashion, okay, vertical layout. Okay, so select control. So for your reference, I am writing that in a comment. Static select. Now inside this, when you write it, you don't have any items here. That means only that select control without any items can also be displayed like this. Now I want the items to be displayed inside, so I need to make use of the item, key, and the text. Okay, this item belongs to sap.ui.core.item, sap.ui.core. So I repeatedly use this item 5 times, 10 times kind of thing. So same concept in the controller, repeated controls namespace, I send it on the top of the controller as a global namespace for that controller. Here also we can send this sap.ui.core on top of the view. Okay, but here you have to make you write like this. XML namespace. Okay, use this XML namespace colon. Any name you want to use. For example, Yash. I'm using this Yash word here. sap.ui.core. Any items are there inside this item, I make use of Yash colon. Okay. So basically the practice is use core here. Use the core colon item. All the other controls also belong to the namespace sap.m. Here it will be there if you see XML namespace sap.m. Default. It does not have a surname. So all this page, panel, they all belong to sap.m. VBox, HBox. So I'm not mentioning there specifically. But rest of the things other than the controls from the sap.m, you have to mention this as a namespace. So let us start with key 0 and text. Just first one I'm leaving it as it is, blank. Okay. Next. So total how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. First one is the blank, no? This blank I'm handling here. 1, 2. Now key 1, key 2, 3, 4, 5. And inside this I'm copying order by category, price below 10, notebooks below 10, one, this one. Okay. Now any line item, if the user clicks, so that will be read in the key. Okay, I need to capture the key. If key is equal to 1, what should I do? Key is equal to 2, what should I do? So first one is key is equal to 0. So you have to call the refresh. Key is equal to 1, this function. Key is equal to this function. Let us copy this event, go to the controller. Let me place a debugger. Okay. So the event for this select is a change event. So if I disturb this one, then the function gets activated and the debugger. So let me click on this and let me select this notebooks below 10. So what key is captured? We have to see that now. It enters into the debugger console. The ID given to this is ID stat cell. This dot by ID this dot by ID dot get selected key. So just put the dot get and you can have that code assistance with you. In the web ID, if they are not coming, you can just check that in the browsers, console browser. Starting there's no, later you can add that method. Okay. Get the selected key. Here, get selected key. Let us write this one into the controller code. Let us have a variable keys. So it is returning the string type. If keys triple equal to 1, it started with 0. What should I do? If keys is equal to 1, total 5 are there. Though it is a number, I am writing in the double quotes. Why? Because that get selected key is returning the string type. Just now you saw that it is returning the string type. If key is equal to 0, this dot underscore refresh. Okay. Key is equal to 1, this dot, we have to search what is the function. Order by cat. Any doubts still here? So inside the static select with the keys, I try to get the key which is selected by the end user, and I'm trying to operate on it. Randomly, I'm just clicking on this notebooks below 10. So I must be getting only one. So, okay, it's fine, working fine. I just go back. It's the refresh function. Any doubts still here? I call it as a static select because the text you are trying to directly type it, hard code that text. So this works for limited like 7, 8 or 10. It's okay. Now I want the, okay. So combo box is just a special case of select control only. In the combo box, you won't get this hand symbol here when I'm placing like this. Instead, you get a free text. Okay, free text. And for more varieties of that combo box, you can refer to the demo kit. In that, varieties are there, but this is the starting point. So start how to use the select, how to have a combo box. So this is a free text now. I just want like notebooks. When I type N, that text will be pulled. That's the only thing with the combo box. Okay. It depends how your client says have a free text, or generally just use the select control. If the client asks you, mention there as a free text, use the combo box. Now select with the dynamic values populating into the drop down. Okay, that is the dynamic select. Now let us go back to the diagram here. Static select. So here key property plays a vital role. Key property. Okay, and in the controller we have used this dot by id dot get selected key. Now we'll try to implement the dynamic select control. Dynamic select control. In the dynamic select control, I need to populate. The requirement is populate the product IDs into the select control. Requirement. Show the product IDs inside the select control. That means modal values. Modal values you are going to show now. Anywhere if you want me to stop, please let me know. I'll slow down. Okay. Select. Let me change the ID. ID dynamic select. Okay, I'm using that ID DYNSCL. Change is the event. Just use DynaCell. Core colon item key text. First one I leave it as it is. Now I want to show all the values. I cannot write that all the values if there are, for example, 126 product IDs are there. Okay, I cannot hard code them 126 times. Tomorrow if 1000 will come, I cannot write 1000 times that one. Fine. And also, if I write like this static text, I'm having a key to handle that. But here I cannot have that key now. Key is not important in the dynamic selector. What is important, we'll see that. Okay, so this table control, if you see, you are getting all the values here. First row got filled, it is next iterating to the next row. So backend there is some for loop which is being executed continuously in the form of this one, items. Okay, so let us copy these items to the dynamic select. Clear? Fine. Next, this is the binding. I copy here. Now to this select control, I need to set the data, push the data. So in the controller, at the beginning, for the product set, we have pushed the data to what? Which control? Table control only, not to the select control. Okay. Most of you, when you're copy pasting the code, you copy the dynamic control, you won't see the data. So what you do, you copy the code for the select dynamic select control from my web IDE. Then you start executing it, you won't get data. Why? Because I need to set the binding also in the controller. Don't forget this step. ID for the dynamic select is ID DynaCell. So when you are copying in the notes, just copy that also from the controller in the on init for the products service. You see. All the product IDs are populated here. Any doubts? My requirement is any ID you select, for example, HT1253. When I select this, only that table data must populate, only that row. Tomorrow we'll see that. copy this code if you want. Any doubts still here? Every time to force a blank here on the top, first time. So you can use selected key and force selection. Make the force selection false. Any key you use here, like underscore blank, it's a normal practice. We use this underscore blank because it starts populating the right from the first row of the data. Okay, first line item only it starts populating, so it does not care about the blank. So we just force it, we make it to have a blank. So key is not given priority here. Text is given priority. First time you can see a blank here, then I can have the product selected. So copy the code from my web IDE. Well, I have sent you this URL. So you copy this URL, open this in the incognito window to the Chrome browser, and then drop these credentials. Copy means export this code into your the local machine and try to import it back. I will move this code to my workspace. Just safeguarding it. Any issues, I'll again pull that code back. So don't delete anything here. Any doubts, WebEx participants? If you don't have doubts, we'll wrap up the session. Thank you.